right, well, we're waiting for just a few more of our attendees to join us. We're going to go ahead and start with a few housekeeping items that we'll go over today. I'm Lane Galata, one of the marketing department team members here at Kelsey-Seybold. So thank you for joining us for today's CareConnect Convo. If you haven't joined us for a previous conversation, welcome. We're glad you're here, especially for this conversation with Dr. Deb Kern. If you have joined us before, thanks for coming back. And if you've attended one of our Find Your Balance events with Dr. Deb Kern, you know you're in for such a special treat with our conversation today. So our CareConnect Convos are weekly conversations that we host via Zoom with very special guest speakers and our physicians on topics that we feel that are really important right now with the COVID-19 pandemic going on. If you haven't joined a conversation before, we ask that you mute your microphones just to eliminate any background noise. That way we can all hear Dr. Deb talking. And if you have any questions, we highly encourage you to ask them using the question and answer feature, which is on the bottom of your screen. So you can click on the little Q&A box and you can type in a question. We're going to do our best to go ahead and answer all those questions in the time we have with Dr. Deb. And I'm going to watch those questions as they come in, as is Dr. Deb. So we'll try to get those all answered for you. But if you do have any other questions after this event, please feel free to reach out to us. We want to make sure that we provide you guys with all the resources and support that you need during this time. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest speaker today, Dr. Deb Kern. Some people talk about the mind-body connection. Dr. Deb Kern helps people experience the mind-body connection. It's the link between our body and our emotions and how relationships deeply impact our lives every single day. It's a path that she's explored personally and professionally over the past 35 years. She comes from a traditional medicine and health background, and she also awakens the body both personally and professionally to live holistic ways of thinking and health modalities. She's a huge proponent of body wisdom, sharing its power with other health professionals and the public. Her journey has been informed by fusing of her academic background alongside ancient wisdom to create relatable and practical teachings that support people in creating health, balance, serenity, and joys in their personal and professional lives. With a PhD in health sciences and a background in nursing studies, alongside her study of herbal medicine with indigenous women of Costa Rica and an apprenticeship in the ancient healing system of Ayurveda in Bali and India, her application of these teachings and their experience is truly unique. Past roles include a personal trainer, a fitness instructor, a competitive race walker, a yoga movement practitioner, a spa director, and the head of weight management division for a hospital. Today, her passion includes writing, speaking, and her own wellness consulting practice, working with individual clients for transformational events across the globe. She teaches and trains others to teach the conscious movement practice she called Prana Shakti, which is a practice for women that removes energy blocks, liberates trapped energy, and reconnects the mind and body for incredible healing results. Dr. Kern is the author of Everyday Wellness for Women, and she's the co-author of Create the Body Your Soul Desires. Helping people make positive lifestyle changes is a way of life for Dr. Kern, starting with herself. So without further ado, I'll turn today's conversation over to Dr. Deb.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lane, and thank you. And I also want to just thank Kelsey-Seybold for using this kind of educational opportunity to also support the Houston Food Bank. It's really important that everything that we do is a win-win-win. And so I just want to say thank you for that. That's the tone for everything. So thank you. And welcome to all of you. And also, I do want to say that there's also a chat box. And so if you want to chat me up over there, I can also check the chat box as I'm talking. So if there's something that I'm saying and you want to ask more about it, you can type it there, or you can use the Q&A box. Either way, if you've ever used these, I'll be looking for you. So I'm going to start. Actually, what I've noticed is that a lot of us are using things like Zoom more. Have you noticed? I mean, here we are. I mean, Elaine is doing it, and maybe you are too. And it's just like everything in the world. Too much of a good thing is too much. And we're going to talk about that concept this whole time, how stress works and how too much of a good thing is too much. But actually what I'd like to do is start by relieving your eyes. Because one of the things that has been shown in some of the research with all this people using FaceTime and looking at screens to each other, it's really hard on your eyes. So I want to start by having you relax your eyes. So don't look at me. I want you to turn away from the screen. So I'm going to actually turn a little sideways, and I'm going to guide you with my voice. I don't want you looking at the screens. Just look somewhere else. It even great if you could look out a window, but it doesn't matter where, just not the screen. And hold your head still. And with your head still and your breath deep, let your eyes look up and down, like just on a vertical line. So look up with your eyes and look down with your eyes, but without moving your head. And as you're moving your eyes up and then down, sync your breath to that. So inhale as your eyes look up. Exhale as your eyes look down. So you're going with your own breath rate. And you may notice right away, your nervous system already calms down because you're slowing down your breath and you're giving your poor eyes a break. Now center your eyes and close the lids. Then open your eyes. You're not looking at anything in particular, and take your eyes across right and left. So look as far right as you can, and then straight across the horizon to the left. You're not focusing on anything in particular as you sweep your eyes slowly to the right and slowly to the left. Now you're going to sync your breath to that one too. So you're going to inhale as the eyes go to one side, all the way inhaling. Exhale back toward the center. So slowly, and inhale as it goes to the other side. You're not moving your head, you're just moving your eyes. So you're inhaling to the right with your eyes and exhaling to the center without moving your eyes. Then inhaling to the left with your eyes and exhaling to the center with your eyes. And then center your eyes and close your eyes. The breath is still deep. And now open your eyes. You're still just barely just gazing in front of you, not looking at anything in particular. Take your eyes up to what would be 12 o'clock on the face of a clock, and then slowly sweep your eyes all the way around clockwise to the 1 and the 2 and the 3, down to the 6, around to the 9, and all the way up. And let your breath be slow and deep. And notice as you're circling your eyes around in this clockwise circle, that there may be some areas that are a little bit jumpy, or you can't quite make it a circle. And don't worry about it, but notice. This is just a sign of fatigue. Your eyes are probably very fatigued right now. So slowly circling, no judgment, no criticism. And then close your eyes, let your eyes relax. You can probably imagine what's next. Take a deep breath in, open your eyes, let them gaze gently. Look up to the 12 o'clock, and now you're going to go the other way, counterclockwise. You're going to slowly circle the eyes. The breath is deep. You're just noticing the jumpy bits and seeing if you can slow down enough to smooth out the edges so that you can actually make a circle out of this, not some kind of octagonal or hexagon shape. And then just bring your eyes back to the center, lids closed, and your palms rub together. Rub, 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 rub until you have heat. Build up a lot of heat. So it's going to take a minute. Get them nice and warm. Oh, my hands were cold. It's taking me a minute. Get them good and warm. There we go. I got some heat building up. I hope you do too. And then take the palms of your hand and rest them over your eyes with your fingertips and your hairline. And let the warmth and darkness bathe your eyes, deepen your breath. And feel how your eyes are so grateful to you right now because you've been staring at screens for so long. So just let the eyes relax. Let the optic nerve relax. Let all the ocular muscles relax, and feel how that becomes like a relaxing shower down your whole body, all the way to your toes. Everything is related. Everything is tied together. And then take your hands away from your eyes and let your eyes just look at your computer. And from now on, I want you to, everybody, to move back from your computers a little or your phones, and just, you don't need to stare at me. You know, if we were in person, if I were like I would wish I were at Kelsey-Seybold in Houston in person with all of you like I love to do, if we were in person, you wouldn't be staring at me the whole time. We'd all be very uncomfortable, actually. You'd be looking around, you'd be turning to your friends, you'd be laughing. And so I want you to learn this technique for every FaceTime and every Zoom that you do from now on, that you don't have to be staring. It's a new skill for all of us, using this technology. So relax your eyes and notice how that made you feel. And I'm gonna look and see if you say anything in the chat box. Nobody's saying anything, and you don't need to, but I would love to ask you, if you know how to use the chat box, you just click where it says chat and just let me know what that experience was like for you. And while I'm waiting for that chat, what I'd like to know also in the chat box is, are you quarantined and working or staying at home? You're quarantined at home, or are you going into an office and back? So you can say home, office, and I'll know. Relaxing for your eyes. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you for saying that. Very relaxing to your eyes. Yes, great. Michelle can feel the eyes soaking in the energy. And now we have home, 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 rejuvenating. Veronica, 60+ hours at your office. Whoa, okay. Quarantined at home, home and office, half. Okay, work from home, retired, eyes relaxed. This is helping me so much. Thank you all so much. That makes it feel more human to me that I can hear from you. Home, didn't realize how out of shape your eyes were. Exactly, right? Right, working from home, quarantine teacher. Okay, so exactly, for all the teachers that are having to use Zoom, it's like, whoa, like me. I mean, I'm a teacher using Zoom. Relaxing, whole body relaxed. So I'm seeing home and office both. Husband working from home 60 hours a week and homeschooling 3 kids. And Veronica's at the office. Wowza. Okay, got it. Education, working from home, retired, teacher at home. Yeah, didn't know okay, so thank you all so much for that feedback. And there'll be many times for us to have this kind of interaction. I wanted to start with something like that could be so useful. If you got just one thing, that would be a really worthwhile thing to get, is that our eyes are holding so much stress every day, but especially these days, because we have the added general stress and now we're focused on something small for longer periods of time. So if you did that exercise, don't do it when you're driving, but do that exercise as often as possible, and you're going to feel so much. You don't have to wait for a yoga class. But I'm going to take it a little step further and let you know that, we all know that there's excess stress right now. We're swimming in it. But the stress does not just stay in your head. Your whole body feels it. So every time you feel shocked or grieving or afraid or angry or frustrated, something happens, it's not just happening in your head. Your whole body is experiencing it. So I want to show you a few movements you can make while you're at your desk, because I'm getting that many of you are working either home or in the office. And the few of you who are retired, or I know some of you are just loving this quarantine time, and I just want to honor everyone's experience. So if you're some of the ones who this quarantine time actually has been great because you don't need to work and your kids are home and you're loving it, you're going to love the second half of what I'm going to bring you. So hang on. But for those of you who are feeling extra stressed, I want to show you a few things you can do just in your chair, like before getting up. So I'm going to slide my chair back, and you can see me, yeah, Lane, if I go back like this. Looks okay? Yeah, sorry.
Yes, it looks good.
So one of the places we carry a lot of tension is in our hips. And so let's say you don't want to even take time to get up. I want to show you a really easy way. So you scoot to the edge of your chair, cross one ankle over the other. And I think unmute yourself one more time, Lane, because on Zoom, is this left to you? Is that left or is that right?
That's my left.
That's your left. Okay, great. So put your left ankle over your right knee, right? Okay, and lift up your sternum and press your knee down. Right, so right away, now some of you your knee may be like this. Oh, look, I forgot to put on shoes. You can tell I work at home. Oh, you can't make me put on, you can make me put on mascara, but not shoes. All right, so you sit up tall and you gently press this knee down. Now, if the knee is way up here, that's fine. Just find a way that you can have the ankle crossed above the other thigh and just gently press down and lift up your sternum right here, the center of your body. Lift up and gently press down this knee so you're breathing deeply. So this is to help relieve tension in the outside of that hip. Now, on the next exhale, start to hinge forward from your hips. Not bending at the waist, but just hinging forward. I'm going to give you a side view so you can see what I'm talking about. So can you see how I'm keeping my back nice and flat? So you just want to lean forward and keep stretching the outside of that hip. And take a few deep breaths here. So what's going to happen? You're going to inhale to the count of 4. 1, 3, 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. 4, 3, 2, 1, and leave the breath out. Now inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. And exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, and leave the breath out. Just relax your breath. Sit yourself up. Uncross your leg. Take a breath and notice, can you feel any difference between those two hips after just that small amount of stretching? You don't have to answer me now. I feel certain the answer is yes. So take the other ankle and cross it over, and it may be tighter and it may be up here, and that's fine if it's up here. Just let this knee go wherever it can go. Lift up your sternum. You may be shocked how much tension you've got in your hips, and I'll explain why later, but we've all got it. Inhale, lift up your sternum. Exhale, hinge from your hips and go forward. That's it. And then breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leave the breath out. Breathe in. Hold. And then exhale slowly. And leave the breath out. And then relax your breath and sit back up and bring your foot down. So the hips carry so much tension. And by just doing that particular exercise, it helps ground a spinning mind. So two things were happening. The 4 count breath in, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and leave the breath out is going to be, and stretching the hips at the same time is going to help those of you who tend to spin, who can't sleep at night, right? Your mind is spinning because you're pretty much leaving your body, you're flying out. So this helps bring you back down into the hips and release tension, which we all hold in the hips. And the slow breath is really important. So I hope you felt that. Another place where we hold tension is in our belly, our stomach area. So if you sit to the front of the chair, hold behind you and just kind of open your belly and just take a big breath in here. And roll the shoulders back and lift up your chin and exhale and inhale a few times. It doesn't have to be any specific breath, but I'm going to give you one. Stick your tongue out, and if you can roll your tongue like this, can you do that? If you can't do that, do this. And breathe through the tongue curled or the lips like this. So you're opening the belly, you're opening the chest. Just do one more like that. That particular is, well, first of all, notice. I mean, just notice how you feel after just a few breaths of opening the belly. And notice your mind. For people who tend to get really irritated and frustrated, we tend to hold that in our stomach. We get like acid indigestion there. And this breath through the lips or the tongue will help cool you off. Just like cool your mind that got so frustrated and angry. So when something happens, like technology doesn't work, or somebody forgot to tell you that there's a meeting and now you're late and you showed up and you didn't know how to get onto the Zoom link, and then you got there and you're really ticked off, you're angry, take a minute, maybe not in front of the camera, except for with us, and do this one where you hold the back of the chair, open your belly, open your chest, and do a few breaths through pursed lips or the tongue. All right. We're going to start with that and just see. So what I want to do now is, now that we've done that, I'm hoping you feel better, a little bit more grounded. It's really important for us to all be in our bodies all day long, because we keep leaving and coming back, leaving and coming back. What I've learned through a study called Ayurveda, which is the ancient Indian healing system. Oh, hold on. Yes, I was going to do it later, but I'll do it now, April. I love when people ask me questions. You notice that I was about to go to the head. I thought maybe I'll go to the slides first, but let's finish this up. Because what can happen is you can feel really down, stuck too far, and really clenched up in your jaw and neck. And so one of the best things you can do from a chair is just take one ear. So let's just take this. I think this, you think this is your left ear. Reach your hand up and over your head. Does that look right if I say left? Yeah, perfect. And just gently pull down and use this hand to lengthen the neck and press this arm away. So when you're here, deep breathing here, just with the weight of the elbow. Okay, that's the beginning of it. But here comes the next part that's really crucial. And I'm going to talk it through, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to turn backwards for you. So here's how it works. You're going to let go of that hand for a second. You're going to pull your chin down to an angle, and you're going to put your left hand, let's see if I better do it this way. You can put it behind your neck, lengthen the neck up, and drag this back side, so the back left side, back down towards your chest. So reach your left hand up and bring your chin towards your chest. Right, so you've got the chin coming down, and you're lifting up the back of the neck and letting that pull down, and breathe into the back of your neck. And then bring your head up, and we go to the other side. So bring this hand over, press your shoulder away, breathe into this side of the neck. Big deep breathing. Any kind of breath works. And then you're going to take this hand to the back side of the neck and draw the chin down toward the chest. And feel the back of the neck stretching. Oh, whew, mine was tight. All right. And then bring your head up. And a part that a lot of us forget about is the neck. So what happens when we're leaning over our keyboards all the time is we tend to put our head forward. And when your head goes forward, it stresses the back of the neck and creates tension right at your shoulder blades or at the base of the skull. And so what you want to do is keep your chin tucked in and back, right? So keep the chin tucked in and back. That really helps a lot. So I hope that helps you. Thank you for asking, April. So those are the three main areas when we're sitting that gets so tight. And what happens at the end of the day, if we want to try to calm our minds down, and we can't because our bodies are so tight. So if through the day, you'll take tension from your hips, take tension from your belly and chest area, and then get your neck to release just throughout the day. I know these are very simple, but they're super, super powerful. Super powerful. So you're so welcome. Thank you for asking, April. And you know what I know, and I know all the teachers who are here will agree with me, is that when one person asks a question, so many people are glad that you did. So thank you for asking. And anyone can ask anything, and I can take them. I can look at the questions. So the other thing I really wanted to come talk to you about, and when I was speaking with Lane and all the people at Kelsey-Seybold, like what would be most helpful now? I wanted to talk about the fact that when everyone is under stress, everyone feels it. You feel it, your kids feel it, the grandparents feel it. We were just talking about it before we started, that the grandparents can't see the grandkids, and everybody's feeling stress. Here's the other piece. We all respond to stress differently. And it really helps to understand how you respond to stress that's different, and how your family members or your coworkers respond to stress, and learn what to do about it. I'm going to teach you today from a system called Ayurveda. I'm going to write it in the chat box because some of you guys are looking at the chat box. Ayurveda is spelled like this. And I'm also going to show you slides in a minute, but I don't know if I wrote it on my slides or not. So Ayurveda comes from the ancient system of healing from India. Ayur means science and Veda means life. And it's a very holistic look at humans. And the piece of it that we're going to look at today is what happens to a human when they get stressed. Well, they go what's called out of balance. And according to Ayurveda, you go out of balance in different elements. And so we're going to look at the elements are air, fire, and earth. So just kind of go with me here with the metaphor. I think you're going to see right away what happens to you. So what I want you to do as you're listening to me today is think about yourself. How do I go? What happens to me? That's your main focus. And then in the back of your mind, you're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, that's my husband, or that's my wife, or that's my kids, or that's my coworker. So, and you can keep that running in the back, but I want you to think about yourself. So self-care first, and then everyone else. So I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see my slides. So bear with me just a moment while I do all the clicking. And these are my slides. So I'm going to show, whoopsie, there we go. View, I have to talk to myself. There you go. So everybody has a little bit of air in them. Air is what gives us movement. It gives us creativity. It gives us spontaneity, and everybody has some air. But some of us, when we get stressed, too much of a good thing. You know, like I was talking about earlier, like Zoom, too much of a good thing. So what happens when air goes out of balance, we start noticing things that look like too much air. Spinning mind. The mind starts spinning. We get forgetful. We get insomnia, which is the mind is spinning, but the body can't sleep. That's insomnia. We get worried. We get anxious. We get fearful. We feel too much air. We get spacey. We get lightheaded. Or you feel it in your body. The air shows up as constipation or gas. Or we get chilly, or like we get all shaky and nervous, you know, think like Chihuahua energy, just go, and like Chicken Little in your mind. So as soon as, you know, quarantine, these are the people who are saying, oh my God, I don't know what's going to do. If I lose my job, or if this happens, or if that happens, and they're spinning in the mind, this is air out of balance. So I'm curious, let's just see, how many of you have air out of balance? You want to do, we can just raise the hands, huh? I don't know how to do the raise hands thing. I'm going to ask you, let's see, where's my chat box? Where did the chat box go? Can you tell me, Lane? Just have them, I'd love people, because I can't see chat box from here for some reason. You look and see, or you can tell them to raise their hands, one or the other. Oh, there, I see chat coming up here. 2 chats came in. Oh, great. That's just people talking about the exercise. Great. Here we go. Spinning mind for sure. 10 participants raised their hand. Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, and you made the box tiny. Super great, super great. Got it, got it, got it. This is it. Spinning mind. So if you're the kind who gets a spinning mind, insomnia, anxious, that's air out of balance. Now, perfect. Can I go back to the air slide? I sure can. Oh, I think I can. Hold on. I think I can. I think I can. What do you mean, boom, bonk? Oh my goodness. It won't let me. Hold on. There it did. It did. There it is. The air slime. Got it? So spinning mind, too much air in the mind. Once the mind spins, they get really forgetful, like, oh, I can't find my keys. Wait, I just put them here. Did you see? What time was the Zoom meeting? I can't remember. Spinning, anxious, fearful. This is air out of balance. And it's a response to stress. And the stress could be COVID-19, or the stress could be your visa bill, or the stress could be you didn't sleep well last night, or the stress could be your kids are in trouble at school. Any stress, someone with a lot of air, this is how they show their stress. And we're just going to make a note of this for later so we know what to do about it later. Yeah, great. I see a lot of people saying, yes, spinning, spinning, forgetful. Yep. All right. Okay, we're going to move on because not everybody has that as their response to stress. Some people Let's see if it makes me close the chat box to go. That's the problem. Okay. Some people go out of balance and fire. Now, we all have some fire in our nature. Fire is what gives you drive. Fire is what gives you a sharp intellect and good decision-making and good sense of judgment, good critical thinking. Everybody has some of that. Some people have a lot of that, good judgment, good critical thinking. But what happens to them when they go out of stress, when they get stressed, they don't spin. No, that sharp mind of theirs becomes a sharp tongue right away. And their really good ability for judgment and critical thinking becomes judgmental and critical. So something happens and all of a sudden they're biting your head off, or they're really judgy and critical. And they generally get easily frustrated and irritated. So it's different, right? You see how that it's different from the kind of person who's worried. This person's just pissed off, right? That's how they show. Then if it keeps going, they start becoming really perfectionistic, not good enough, and they get overachiever-like, and they get overly competitive. Whoopsie, I went too fast. So this is a sign that someone is stressed, and this is how it's showing up for them. It's showing up for them as frustration and irritation. How many of you have that one? That's what I want to know. I'm looking in the chat box. This is my favorite part, to see what people say. Oh, there's chat. Let's see. How many? Let's see. Anybody? Do any of you go, just you can say fiery, or yes, I get sharp, or yikes, oh, that's my boss. That's all. Easily irritated. Oh, your husband. Okay, I'll tell you the love story, how that works later. Yeah, I don't mean to, but that's mean, right? Please know that it's not, none of us wants to be out of balance. I've noticed that other people do. Yep, overly competitive. Yeah, 9 people raised their hand. Thank you for telling me how the raising hands is going. Critical, yes. Okay, so right now, everybody take a big breath in and let it go. I want you to put your hand on your heart like this. Put your other hand on top of that one. See how I'm doing? I just want you to pat. You can pat left and right, or you can pat both at the same time. And if you're a person who gets really mean and bites people's heads off and perfectionistic and yelling at the kids and judgmental and nothing is good enough, if that's you, I want you to do like this on your chest, left and right, or both hands, and say, of course that happens to you. It's the other side of your gift. Your gift is a sharp mind. You're the one who really knows the best way to go about a project. You're the one who knows how to arrange the furniture, or the quickest way to get from Dallas to Houston, the best roads. You know those things. You're the sharp intellect, good decision-making person, and you're just stressed. That's all. You're just stressed. Of course, honey. So just breathe. Okay? Same thing as the person who gets really anxious. You could pat yourself and say, you're not just an airhead flying out into space person. You're just stressed, of course. So I just want you to let yourself know that this doesn't describe you as a person. This describes what happens to you when you're stressed. It's a signal. It's like the smoke alarm is going off. I'll tell you what to do about it in a minute. So thank you for letting me know that that's you. So let's keep going, because there's a third, and that would be earth. So earth is something that we all have as well. We all have the quality earth. Earth gives us the capacity to be, what do you think? Grounded, of course, to be grounded and to be steady and to be loyal and compassionate. Everyone has some of that. Some of us have more than others. I have a lot of earth. Earth is slower, right? Earth is slower. But when it gets stressed, what do you think? Too much of a good thing. So you've already figured out air, too much of a good thing gets spinny, airy. Fire, too much of a good thing gets fiery. Earth, which is beautiful and grounding and loving and loyal and steady, gets dull. Under stress, they just go bleh. And then they get heavy, literally heavy, because they'll eat more. Under stress, they're the ones that gain weight under stress. The air people lose weight. These people get heavy. They get lethargic. They get depressed and feel stuck. So here comes COVID-19 sweeping across the globe, and the air people are spinning 1,000 ways to Sunday, and they're thinking, I know what we'll do. What we'll all do, we'll move to your mother's house, and then we'll sell the boat. And then, no, I know what we'll do. We'll sell the boat. We'll go to the neighbors, and then we'll join in with them. No, I know what we'll do. We'll start a new business. No, I know what we'll do. They're spinning and spinning and spinning and never sleeping. And the fire people are saying, God, the stupid idiots in government and and they're, that's what they're doing. What are the earth people out of balance doing? Same stress, the same pandemic. The earth people, well, you can't find them. They're somewhere asleep with an empty bag of M&Ms in their hand and chocolate just drooling out of their mouth, because under stress, they slow down and they'll start craving sweet, creamy, heavy foods, and they'll feel stuck. But they're just as stressed as everybody else. They'll start holding on to things, holding on to fluids. I have a lot of this in me, so I can't even get my rings off. As soon as there's some kind of news, my rings won't even come off, and I haven't even changed my diet yet. So Earth just starts holding on, like Earth pulls in, and you'll see stuff. If a person has a lot of Earth and they go out of balance, they get stressed. What's going to happen is they're going to start accumulating stuff everywhere, like piles of laundry and piles of dishes and piles of papers to be filed, piles, yellow sticky notes all around the face of their computer, just stuff everywhere. That's because they're stressed, Earth. Wait, let me go back. So how many of you, I'll ask Lane, anyone, either you're married to it or give me some kind of comment, what's happening with Earth in you and your reality and your world? Let's see. I see the fire ones. So let's see if we have any Earths. We may not. They're probably taking a nap, you know. But maybe some of you are here like me. It's me. I'm one of them. So 9 of you raised your hand. Depressed. So depression. Yes, depression is absolutely Earth out of balance. One of your kids is Earth for sure. Perfect. Here we got another Earth. Okay. Yes. Too many projects. So guessing that I don't know what that means. Tell me more about that. Can you be a combination of all 3? Oh, I see what you're saying. Too many projects. I think I know what you mean. Yes, you are a combination of, everyone's a combination. But for us today, what I want to have you pay attention to is what's dominant, what's happening the most. And we're going to take care of each one of them one at a time. So I'm going to help you figure out for yourself first, and then my heart goes to Catherine, I think it is, said one of her kids is Earth. Yes, air and Earth. Okay, that's me. I'm air and Earth. Spinning and then depressed. That's how that looks. Can you be out of balance in all 3? Yep, you can. Incomplete projects and sleeping a lot. Perfect. So sleeping a lot is the stress response to the fact that things are not completed. Totally got it. And you just don't have enough fire to get them done. So I'm going to show you. That's when we have to just create it. And I'm getting ready to show you what to do. Thank you all so much for responding. It helps me guide what I'm saying. So this is what it looks like when you're out of balance. How do you know if you're in balance? I'm just going to give you these questions I ask myself. You'll know you are in balance when you're eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're full. You know you're in balance when you have plenty of energy from the day, when you sleep well at night, when your relationships are all harmonious, including relationships with people who are standing in the grocery store and they're not 6 feet away from each other. You're just gonna be harmonious. You can figure a way, harmonious. Is your elimination good? Which is important. What you take in's gotta go out, not too fast. And are you generally peaceful and joyous? The reason I put this slide in here is because when you are in balance, whatever you crave to eat will keep you in balance. But what you crave to eat when you're out of balance, or what you crave to do when you're out of balance, will push you further out of balance. So we need to have something to do. So I'm going to give you, this is how you come back. So if you notice that you're spinning, your mind is spinning, the most important thing you can do is meditation. So we started today with that breathing. We started with our eyes. We started with breathing slowly. That would count. Any of the things we did today would count as meditation. Something where you bring your mind to a singular focus and you breathe deeply. That's going to so important for those of you who have a spinning mind. So and the other things are, have regular habits. So, and this goes for any of you. I'm going to ask you one thing. Hey, Lane, do you have it where they can still see me just in the little box, or just the slides? Huh. Are you going to chat to me? Okay, hold on. You can unmute yourself. I'm looking at the chat. They should be able to see you. Okay, great. I just want to make sure you can see me, people, because I'm gesturing like I'm talking to you, and all of a sudden I realize, I hope you don't just see this. Like, you can. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, everybody, Shelly, and all of you. Thank you. Okay, I'm glad you can see me. Thank you so much, Lane, for doing that so you can see me. Okay, so regular habits. So I want you to think about this for yourself. First of all, if you're someone who spins, and then you have the COVID thing come and it completely changes your schedule, that will instantly make you spin faster, instantly. So what you need to do is create a schedule that's kind of a non-negotiable. And this is so true for your kids who all of a sudden had all this regularity with school, and then it's just all over the map at home. If they have a lot of air in their nature, they really need the structure. And I know it's not easy, and please be gentle on yourself and compassionate if it's not happening. Lord knows I would never say you're doing a bad job at anything, because I'm a mom also, and I was a single mom for 20 years. So I know all about how that would be. And best you can. Get up at the same time, eat in the same place at the same time. All the same things, put your keys in the same place. This helps everybody, but especially the air quality in you. Air needs more quiet, and this is really important. So if you're someone who used to go to work at an office and you had a fair amount of quiet in your office and you have a lot of air in your nature, you might not have noticed that was so important to you till you got home and you're trying to get your work done with your kids over here and maybe two people working both at home and everyone's talking. And I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when your spouse comes home and they put on their work voice and it's really loud and you're like, what's happening? This will disturb air. So for you, I would recommend getting a good headset. So I have 2 sets myself. I love the noise canceling headsets, but anything, even earbuds are better than nothing. Quiet, you need quiet. It's going to help you so much. You need more rest than anyone else. If you're someone who's spinning, you need to take a moment, even 5-10 minutes in the middle of the day, put headphones on, lie down, close your eyes, rest. So you need more warmth, and that includes food. So if your air is out of balance, don't be having cold salads and carrot sticks. Air is cold. So you want to have things that are warm and moist. So opt for soups and stews and steamed vegetables rather than cold, dry foods. You need steady nourishment. Again, if your schedule has been disrupted, you're likely to forget to eat and wait too long. So you need to put into your day steady nourishment. People with air out of balance tend to do better with 6 small meals a day. So that's what that plan is developed for, people like you. So let me just go back and see if I have questions there, because I think I saw some things flip in here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I said stop share instead of look for the chat box. User error. My bad. Just a minute. I'll get back. There we go. I got back. Oh, that's good. Now, how do I find there's the chat box. Go into it. Okay, let's see. This is so true for children with ADHD. Thank you for saying it. So according to Ayurveda, ADHD is air out of balance. That's what they call it. They call ADHD air out of balance, and they treat all people the same way with these kinds of things and certain herbs and other practices and other yoga practices to help to support that. Anybody have any questions else about that? I'll move on if you don't. I just want to make sure I pause for just a second in case you had questions about these. I know these seem simple, and our culture is we're kind of addicted to things that cost a lot of money and are hard, but these simple items will really help those of you who are spinning. All right, I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to just keep on rolling, 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 rolling. So fire out of balance, you know, you're the ones who you're irritated, you're frustrated, and you have too much fire. So I want you to look at what this first item is. The thing that will help you the most is to let go of the need to have things go the way you think they should go. So take a deep breath on that and let your breath go. And here's what I want to say to you, really important. If you have a lot of fire in your nature, you actually are right. The way when you say the way this should be going is like this, you're right. People with a lot of fire have really good critical thinking, decision-making skills, good judgment. But here's the problem. The world doesn't always go that way. And so your tightrope that you're going to walk your whole life is this. Please offer your solutions to everyone, to your family. Tell them what's the best structure. Tell them what's the best way. And then you've got to let it go. You've got to let it go. Let go of the need for it to go that way. And also realize not everybody is like you. I work with a lot of people individually. And what I find is that everybody, in the beginning at least, everybody thinks that everybody else is having the same experience that they are. And it's just not true. The things that are bugging you don't actually bug other people. So the fact that it bugs you, that people like leave their books on the kitchen counter, it doesn't really bug them like it does you. Or the fact that, you know, you really like things organized and other people just, it doesn't bother them so much. So it's catch-22 when you have a lot of fire, because you do know the most beautiful way to do something, but you also need to let it go. Or else, if you can't let it go, it hurts you and it hurts your relationships. So that's my first thing. Now here's some easier things. That's the hardest thing I'm going to say to you. Here are easier things that are going to help you. You need to cool off. So as it heats up, especially if you're in Texas, you need to make sure you stay cool. You need timely meals. So unlike the people with air out of balance who need several small meals a day, you don't need that, but you definitely need, when it's time for lunch, you better stop and eat. And when COVID has come and put you into your house and schedules are crazy and Zoom meetings are happening all day, you need to really realize you've got to say no to the ones that are like between 12 and 2. Give yourself a really good lunch, right? Not 12, somewhere in there between 12 and 2, make sure you get a really good lunch and make sure that you stop and have a really good dinner. And then when you get up, you have a really good breakfast. You're the one for whom 3 square meals really works. And it's really helpful for you. So timely meals. And then, you know, for your leisure, if you're stressed, don't be doing games with scores, because it just makes you more stressed. It turns on that over-competitive button in you. So the practice is being non-judgmental for people who are fire out of balance. Let me just see. And well, and I don't know if this is possible for you now, but if you could schedule, you're the only ones who have to actually schedule unstructured time. You actually have to put it in your schedule that from on this day for these hours, I'm going to have no plans and have no plans. This helps you just let go of your super hyper good organizational skills. You've got to let that go. So I'm going to see if anybody has anything to say about fire balancing strategies. Looking in the chat box. Ayurveda. I'm going to spell it again because it's important, because I'm going to give you a free ebook and I want to make sure you can spell Ayurveda. There you go. I put it in there. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to move to earth. So those of you who tend to have earth go out of balance, or your kids, what do you think it is? Someone with too much earth, remember they slow way down, they get really dull and stuck. So the strategy is different for them altogether. It's almost the opposite of air. What they need to do, so remember air, they need to meditate, slow down, rest. Earth needs to get moving. So if you feel depressed, and all of this stress has made you feel completely stuck or paralyzed, you've got to make yourself move. And movement, it can be the simplest things. Just, you know, I have a lot of earth. So I have a clock that goes every at the 50 minutes of every hour, look, that's what I do. I get up from my desk. This is my habit. I get up from my desk and I just do this. I hit my knees like this. I inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I do like this a few times. I swing a few times, and then I sit back down to work. Just that little bit of movement, doesn't have to be a whole exercise class. Just that amount of movement lifts up a earth person. So they got to get moving. They need to get out and socialize. So what do you do when you can't really go to socialize with the way you used to with your friends? You get out. Socialize means connect. So for earth out of balance, we have to get out. Everyone is benefited, but we have to get out in nature. We have to actually start communicating. So I communicate with trees, and I don't mean like I hear them talk, but I just imagine, what I imagine is when I breathe out, the tree breathes in my breath. And when it breathes out, I breathe in its breath. And I actually make connections with every green thing as I go for a walk just around my block. And that exchange, what you need to understand is it's an exchange of energy. And too much earth is when your energy just sinks. And so this brings your energy up and out and moves it. So get out and socialize. The earth person needs to seek variety. So it's really tough in quarantine. And I know Catherine said her kid, and maybe some of you are married to someone with a lot of earth, but you see them getting more and more stuck to the sofa. And so what has to happen, the opposite of air. Remember for air, I said same place, same time, regular habits. For earth, you need to find ways to change it up. So sometimes work in your office, sometimes work at the kitchen table, sometimes take your computer out by a tree, move. So change, change, change. And I know it's not easy if you live in a small place, but there are a lot of things you can do to create variety. This is going to help that feeling of depression and stuckness. You have to be very creative, but there's all kinds of ways you can have variety. Person with earth out of balance needs to reduce sweet, heavy foods and dairy products. Those kinds of things like pizza. Pizza is a heavy food with dairy, ice cream, sweet, dairy, heavy. Those foods will make you heavier. And the other thing that really helps is to routinely clean out clutter. So when there's stuff all around you, that keeps you feeling really stuck. So I just want to end with this. Write this down, would you? Because you can get, I've written an ebook, and in the ebook, it tells all of this with more stories, like more written stories, and even some more strategies that you can print off and you can use with yourself. There's a questionnaire in there. You can give the questionnaire to your kids or your coworkers or your spouse. So it's just my website, drdebkern.com, and then / the word is Ayurveda. So, and I should have probably made it an easier word to spell, but anyway, there you have it. It's, if you get stuck, there's a way to contact me on my website if you get stuck somehow. But I just wanted you to have that because I knew our time was fairly short, and I wanted to give you the gems, but also leave you with something you could use for later. So hopefully you've written that down. I'm going to go into the chat box and I'm going to unshare my screen. Oh, you got it from the slide. Okay, great. Good, good, good. Okay, so I'm stopping sharing my screen so I can come back to you. Just us chickens. And I hope that was helpful to you. To me, as a mom, as a daughter, when I was a manager, I used to run a department at a hospital. I used to teach classes at a university. I taught 7th and 8th grade. I've done a lot of jobs in my life over the past 38 years. And knowing Ayurveda and being able to see what's happening with people, whether I'm teaching them or married to them or raising them, has helped me so much understand how to mitigate some small things in the environment to help us all be a little bit more harmonious and in balance. So I'm hoping that helped you. I've got something in the chat box, and then I'll come back to you, Lane. Let's see. Oh, I'm sliding down. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. I'm so glad. Yay. I'm glad it was helpful to you. Great. So Lane, anything from you? Good. Glad you love the stretches. Oh, can you not talk?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. I thought, oh no, she can't talk. Great. I'm just looking at the comments. Oh, good. Yay. Yay, Catherine. You're so welcome, Latoya. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Patricia. Great. April. Thank you, Marianne. Good. Very helpful. Yeah. Even for, yes, we're combos of all three, but you can kind of pay attention to what's going on. You're welcome, Christine and Shelly. So glad, Crystal. That's really nice to see everybody like this. Yeah, super great.
Well, if we don't have any other questions, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up for today. You can post Dr. Deb's website underneath the video. You'll also be able to see this on our Facebook page. So if you have any questions, you can head back over to Kelsey-Seybold's Facebook page and review the video. I know we had some questions earlier about sharing exercises to do at a later time and date with your kids. So this video will live for a little bit on our Facebook, forever on our Facebook page. So you can go ahead and watch it there. If you haven't attended any CareConnect Convos before, we generally do these every Wednesday and Friday at 1:30. So this week we're really focusing on mental health at Kelsey-Seybold, and we're going to have another talk on Friday about your mental well-being during COVID-19 with one of our Kelsey-Seybold physicians. So if you would like to join us for that, please head over to our website and sign up for that so you can get access to that conversation as well. You do have to register through Zoom to access every conversation. We just do it to ensure your privacy. That way, you know that this is sort of a more safe environment than just a public place where you're asking questions. And then next week, we're super excited to share that we're going to be focusing on pediatrics. So next week, we'll have Dr. Kimba Black joining us to talk about caring for your kids at home during COVID-19. She's going to be discussing education, mental well-being, social well-being, physical well-being. So all of these components that caregivers deliver to their children, and how things have changed and some suggestions for dealing with the changes during this time. And then next Friday, we're going to shift over our conversation to Dr. Melanie Mazoon. She is our pediatric hospitalist at Kelsey-Seybold. She's going to talk a lot about more of the science side of COVID, how to treat kids, what are symptoms, what does treatment look like in the hospital, what are they seeing in the hospitals if your child is diagnosed with COVID-19. And also she's going to talk about how to safely care for your child if you're positive for COVID-19, which I know is a fear that weighs on a lot of us as parents. So we'd love to have you join us for that. If you are a Kelsey patient, you'll get an email about it. If not, you can find information about those events on our Facebook page as well. Those should be up soon, so stay on the lookout for that. And again, thank you all for joining us. And if you have any other questions, I'll let Dr. Deb go. She's got some stuff.
Well, we had one request I'd like to fulfill is to end with something to physically wrap it up. May I do that? Just take a minute. So I'm going to stand up. So if you can stand up where you are, that'd be great. I'm just going to lift up my, make sure I can see me. So there's a couple things I want to do for you. One is to take a breath where, see if you can see me. With tight quarters in these little spaces. So just inhale with your palms up and stretch as high up as you can. And then exhale and come down and sit down as low as you can. So do 2 more breaths like that. Big stretch up and exhale down. And 1 more like that. And then stay tall. And then just take a soft fist, I'll move my necklace, and just pound right here on that bone. Underneath this bone is your thymus gland. Your thymus gland helps to support your immune system to just give a little thump, a little called thymus thump, and you can just know that this is helping strengthen your own immune system. And then right here under your collarbones, little places that indent, just thump right there. Right, so this is just going to help enliven you, give you a little energy, right? And then you're going to take these same fingers like this. See how I've got them? And you're going to take them on the sides right about at your bra strap. And you're going to work all the way under the bra strap to the sides and in. And as you're tapping, you may find a spot that's a little sensitive, yeah? This helps you digest emotions. That's what I wanted to leave you with. Something that can help you digest emotions. Like I have a little tender spot here. When you find that tender spot, just keep thumping and breathing and help your body digest emotions. Good. that's what I'll leave you with. That's what I wanted to do. Thank you, Lane.
All right, thank you. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon and you found some helpful tools during our discussion with Dr. Deb. And we hope that you'll tune in next week as we continue our discussion with other Kelsey-Seybold physicians. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Bye, everybody.